Welcome to Reno, Nevada, a beautiful and yet unlikely place to begin a spiritual, social, and economic awakening movement. I'm Richard Flyer, and I'd like to share some amazing things happening in our region. Conscious Community envisions awakening and social renewal as the foundation for building a sustainable community, economy, and culture. And it's happening right here in Reno. Daily, like fish who don't know that they're in water, we participate in a spiritual and cultural crisis. We worship money and status, see happiness in material possessions, are overstimulated and busy all the time. We jet around the world, but may never take a few steps across the street to get to know our neighbors. And we become fragmented into our sub-communities based on political and religious beliefs, as well as special interests, all speaking different languages. A modern Tower of Babel. To break through this quagmire, we need to reweave the bonds of community that we ourselves have fractured by the everyday choices we make in a me-first culture. We need a shift in consciousness to co-create a new vision at a grassroots level. Conscious Community has found a common and unifying language to mobilize and transform communities through the shared virtues of love, integrity, courage, service, and respect. This language is based on what you do and who you are, not about what you believe. If we want an awakened world, we need to start with awakened, sustainable communities right where we live, all over the earth, and connect these to each other. The dream of a community and world at peace with itself has been calling to the heart of humanity since ancient times. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a Christian pastor, called it the beloved community. Dr. Aryaratne from Sri Lanka, and a Buddhist, calls it Sarvodaya. We call it conscious community. Inspired by this universal dream of humanity, the conscious community has made real progress in making this dream a reality. And like a house with a sound foundation, we've brought together the positive spiritual, social, and economic forces of our entire community.
If we're to grow healthy, we need to cultivate the virtues of love, courage, service, integrity, and respect. These are fundamental and intrinsic to conscious community. We discuss ways that we're living these virtues, and we set intentions in areas that we want to improve upon. Cultivating spiritual awareness of a bigger picture and building strong character are essential to a sustainable community. We grow in this group process, not for ourselves, but so that we can be of service to others. If we want peace in the world, we must cultivate it within our families, and then within our community. That is why the virtues are so important, from the inside out.
We've identified building blocks that are a part of sustainable community, and we spent years developing those building blocks. They include the local economy, food, energy, neighbor helping neighbor, helping the least of us, and a spiritual awakening. We will continue to develop those networks. We consciously bring together these networks because we recognize that the problems in our society cannot be solved at the same level of consciousness at which they were created. For example, we have catalyzed a local food system network that has brought together ranchers, restaurateurs, grocers, and consumers, all who have interested in bringing the best of local food to everyone in our community. This has led to new relationships between people who care about food, but also relationships between those and people who care about the local economy, energy, spirituality, health, and community service. We break bread together and give our network leaders an opportunity to know each other better and to develop solutions within their own network. But we also take the opportunity to come up with solutions outside of individual networks by bringing together the multiple building blocks so that the leaders of those networks can talk to each other and come up with solutions they could never develop within their own network.
By connecting neighbors and others through shared virtues, we can begin to build a solid foundation to solve the community's and the world's problems from the bottom up. Imagine if we each took responsibility to be a beacon of hope and light in our own families, right on our street, at work, and in the community. A ripple effect of love will be generated, releasing a chain reaction that can create a shift in each of our communities and eventually the world. Let's weave the web of Earth as thousands of villages, towns, and cities are linked through regional, national, and global networks so that we can spiritualize the world's culture and world civilization. It starts one community at a time.
The power of goodwill. Be very